Everyone, VJose 32 back again with another What's on Deck. Let's look at what's going on in the world of Kickstarter first. We have this deck here from Carlos Contreras, the Breast playing cards. It's pretty cool. It is currently 22% funded with 28 days to go. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but we'll see what happens, I guess, when we get to that time. It's his second project. His first was not successful. Wasn't the best. You can see he's put some effort into the aces as well. The ace of hearts looks like it's a hairy strawberry or something. Even this little detail that goes right through the center of the cards is pretty nice. Court cards, everything is completely custom, and it's not half bad, definitely. Have a look at it. There's your tuck case. There's a phone case as well you can get. That's pretty interesting. I'm just trying to scroll down. That's a lot of pictures. That's a whole lot of pictures. You can see the strip down the center, what it does in Fanny. That's pretty nice. They look pretty good, quality-wise and everything. This is just a prototype, obviously. But way too many pictures. Good grief. You don't need to see 4 pictures that are the same, angle. But I guess he's just, contrasting, comparing it to different elements, which is fine. They will be printed by, I don't know. By Legends playing cards. Hopefully there's no issues with that. I'll get to that in a bit. Moving along, there is the Dragon Scale playing cards special edition from Jessica Feinberg. This is about the 10th Dragon themed deck she's done, I'm guessing. It's already well funded, like 500%, over 500% funded out of a $1,000 goal. 18 days remain, as you can see. Just dragons throughout. I'm not overly attracted to decks like this, or don't overly find them appealing. It is what it is. In the back design, that's the back design. It's a one-way back. No thank you. Then again, it's one-way faces too, but whatever. There's stretch goals for a universe deck at $1,000. I guess that's the main deck. There's a dragon group deck at $2,300 and a dragon skull deck at $3,300. I get way too many dragon themed decks. It's getting excessive. It's getting repetitive. A lot of people complain about Big Blind Media doing all these skull themed decks. Well, I'm getting the same vibe out of this. This is dragon, 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 dragon. Do something else for a change. It won't kill you. But that's that. People are still buying it. Next up, Camino de Santiago route map playing cards. It's is that 20% funded? I didn't write that one down. Whoops. We have 25 days to go. I'm not sure it's gonna happen. $5,000 goal. Camino de Santiago route map playing cards. Okay. As you can see, the faces have different maps on them, with different routes. There's information on the court cards. There's different time zones on there. The back design is not bad, but it's a one-way back design. Could be better, obviously. Check it out. You put the cards together, you get a whole map. Kind of interesting. The back, I guess it's supposed to be a Ferris wheel. Something, that's what it kind of looks like to me. Or maybe it's just some kind of, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of what it looks like to me. But unfortunately, it's a one-way back design, which is just not doing it for me. The box is pretty nice. The back could be better. I guess maybe the back is supposed to be a compass or something. I don't know. The court cards, you know, they're okay. Everything is okay, but it's not great. Uh, each card and each suit represents different stages in this route, and then there's brief history, symbols, tax, packing list, trail etiquette, pilgrim's menu, greetings, time zones, unit conversion, first aid, Spain map, and a St. James thing on all the court cards. I mean, seriously, I don't think that this is very appealing. I'm not even sure who's going to be producing these. It's just, it's not very appealing. Who wants to pull out a deck of cards and do this? I don't even know what this route is for. It's a France route. I mean, it's great if you want to take that route, but I mean, it is what it is. It's $20 for a deck, and $20 for each additional deck. Doesn't say anything about shipping costs, and that's very pricey. And you're gonna need a lot of backers at $20 a piece to get the $5,000, and I just don't see it happening. Excuse me. Next up, another dandy, the AK-47 identification playing cards by Gwebs, or G-Webs, or however you pronounce that. It is funded with 23 days to go. Not a fan of this one at all. I'm not a fan of guns or weapons, and that's just the way it is. The indexes are not very, don't make this deck usable for any kind of game, just because, you know, it is what it is. They don't even make any practical sense. I mean, for collectors, I guess, gun collectors, I guess they're okay, but this is inspired by decks that were made during the wars that related to airplanes, and I guess there might have been other vehicles. I know there was airplanes for sure. Aircraft and military vehicles, and they had these decks that were issued so that they can ID enemy planes or vehicles. And that's fine and dandy. But they never did a deck like this on guns. You know why? Because it would be stupid. If soldiers were trying to spend the time to look at the cards and figure out what these guns are and if that's an enemy or not, they're going to get shot in the head before they figure out if that's an enemy person or not. So that's why they never made a deck like this, and why it makes no sense to try to copy aircraft and military themed decks. Not to mention it's AK-47s. They're all almost identical. Who gives a crap who they belong to? A gun is a gun. I don't know. I don't support it. I'm not a fan of it, and I don't think it should be funded. And basing it on those identification cards from the wars dealing with planes and militaries, it just doesn't make sense. They didn't use them for obvious reasons, and they just don't make sense. Already they tried this one before and it failed, but this time it's somehow succeeded. If you really need 54 different types of AK rifles, knock yourself out, but I don't really think it's something that people would be interested in. Next up, the Texas playing cards from Jackson Robinson, just launched 3.5 hours ago at the time of this video, and it's already got $32,000, 29 days still to go. It's very well funded. I personally, in my opinion, don't understand why Jackson Robinson needs to use Kickstarter at all. He's not trying to kickstart a company or anything like that, or any kind of products. He's already well kickstarted. He's already gotten his foot in the door. He's already gone through the door. You know, he doesn't need to get his foot in the door. He's well known. He does extremely well on all his projects, and he doesn't need Kickstarter to get himself off the ground anymore, or to get his projects off the ground anymore. Just my opinion. But whatever. It's a Texas themed deck of cards. Yippee-yi-yi-ki-yay. Everyone loves Texas, I'm sure, and all their ridiculous laws and everything. But Texas kind of stands out on its own from the U.S. and everything. There's your back design. It's nice. I got no problem with that. Rider back type style. Nice tuck case. That's the premium edition. There will be... It's going to be printed by the USPC with a air-cushioned finish on a premium stock, or the tuck case printed on a premium stock with embossing as well. Foiling on the inside and outside of the tuck. Metallic gold ink on the back and front of the cards as well. Really nice. Then there's the gold edition, which is basically the same thing. Only 750 produced. Is going to be gilded card edges. A traditional intaglio engraved tack stamp belly band. Okay. And I guess that's what you see wrapped around the box here. And everything else basically the same. There's also going to be a hand-numbered tack stamp. And those are probably sold out. Actually, they're not sold out yet, but they're getting there. I'm sure of it. Actually, they're not. There's still quite a bit left. Surprisingly, there's hundreds of them left. You can get 2 right now. Actually, yeah, 2 for $70. They're $35 each. Surprisingly, this one is still available. It's 2 gold, 2 premium editions, $100. That's not bad when they're $15 each and $35 each. That's exactly the right price. But so it's not even an early bird. But over 100 left of these other ones. People are not buying them, so I'm not gonna jump in and get them. It's not a limited quantity like before, where you had 250 decks. I think during the Tally Ho projects, and I don't know, people just not jumping in on them for some reason at this rate. Plus, quite expensive. $35 for a deck just because it's gilded is rather expensive. And I apologize about all this Facebook noise. I'll turn down the volume here. Getting tired of it. And then there's also the Legacy Edition. Only 50 produced. It's got this tuck wood case, slip case. Big deal. 24 karat gold hand gilding. And, you know, I don't understand the point of that. People paying money for something they're never going to use. It's just going to sit there. You might as well just take $200 and flush it down the toilet, because you get the same effect. You just giving away the money and you're getting this deck that you're never going to open, you're never going to touch, because it's gold gilded, it's so expensive and everything, and it's just, it makes no sense why buy it. There is one more edition, the Player's Edition, which is their, as they call it, well, I forget what they call it, but it's their, the deck that you open. For some reason, Jackson Robinson feels the need to create additional decks in a different tuck case, just so that people can open them and play them, because there's something wrong with opening and playing the regular edition. I understand some collectors don't want to open it, and that's fine, and they get this one and open it. Again, that's fine. But it just seems a little bit excessive and unnecessary. If you're not going to open the damn thing, don't buy it. I mean, or buy multiples, open one, keep another sealed. I don't know. I apologize for ranting, but it's a little bit ridiculous. Next up, this Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos deck. Playing cards hand drawn by the Caveman. Sounds like a wrestler. It is 2% funded. 29 days to go. It's not going very well. And, I mean, the artwork looks fine. But the fact of the matter is, there's been so many other Day of the Dead themed decks that I really don't have much interest in getting another one, especially if it's just, it doesn't compare, in my opinion. I mean, The other ones are better. The artwork is fine on this. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. I'm not feeling this Ace of Spades or the other aces. In fact, only the Ace of Hearts actually looks like an ace. The others just got artwork on it. The Jokers are okay. It did just launch today, I think, so, you know, never say never. The back design, here's another problem. It's just a one-way back design with a really cartoony skull theme. Compared to the rest of the artwork, it just is not cutting it. Those are pretty nice pips and number cards. I do think that the back design is hurting this one. Next up, I might have mentioned this one already, but I'll mention it again, is Swarm playing cards from Robert Tomlinson. And it is 21% funded, 3 days to go. Here we go. It's a reprint, a redo of the Swarm playing cards from, was it WJ Printing in China that Robert Tomlinson has done. The original one you can see is just a rip-off of the B playing cards, except it says B, it says Swarm, but it's a clear rip-off. The new one, it no longer looks like a rip-off, and it looks like a legitimate actual deck of cards, its own deck of cards. The back design, the original is obviously just a B back. The new one, much better. It's a honeycomb back. Looks awesome. Available in red and blue. Court cards, originally they were just standard USB-C court cards. Now, they have been improved, the colors darkened, and the faces made more youthful looking. They got less wrinkles and stuff. So, I like it. It's a nice upgrade. It's a nice fresh upgrade. It's fairly standard cards though from WJ Printing Company, but only $4 each. That's not a bad deal. So go check that one out. One more project on Kickstarter. It is the Geom playing cards. 4% funded, 22 days to go. I don't think it's going to happen. This one it's supposed to be printed by Legends Playing Cards, but I don't think it's going to happen again. It was originally on Indiegogo. Did not do well. This is the problem. It's just crap, in my opinion. It's just, the court cards are really simple, just crowns, as you can see. And then I don't like this whole fading thing that's going on with the artwork as well. I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's not great. Jokers, again, very minimalist. And I think he put this one upside down. And then the back design, not a fan of it at all. Again, just too much fading and I like to see the artwork. I like to see the details. I don't want something that is barely visible. Go back to the drawing board and come up with something better, is my opinion. And in the box, it doesn't even have anything to do with the cards from the looks of it. I don't see anything related to the cards on it. Not even the back design, so it is what it is. I got stretch goals that they're never going to reach. It's not going to happen. Speaking of Indiegogo, there is one deck to tell you about here. It's the Pearl playing cards. Looking for $9,500. They currently have $1,325. It's 14% funded, 25 days to go. I don't think it's going to happen. This is from Tomas Pinston, who previously did the Gemini Dunes wannabe decks on Indiegogo and didn't fund either. $10 early bird for one deck. Still 17, or still a few of those available. 17 out of 20 claimed. The rest are $12 each. The artwork is okay, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't like the pictures because they make the cards barely visible. I want to see the cards. I don't want to see special effects on the pictures, making it impossible to see the cards. As you can, they're going to be printed by Expert Playing Cards, and that's fine and dandy. Nice side opening tuck case and everything. I do like the colors on the backs for fanning and cardistry purposes. I mean, the artwork on the court cards is fine when you can actually see them in these pictures. You know, it's not bad, but credit to you, Barry. This one Joker is just really simple. It just says Pearl on it. So yeah, there you go. I like that the colors and the artwork on the back design. I mean, I don't mind the faces, but I think they could do better pictures to promote it. And since it's Indiegogo, I don't think it's going to do too well. Okay, I am back because since I recorded the video yesterday, there's been a couple of updates I want to talk about. A couple new decks. The first one is this. The proper plastic 4-color playing card set. That's not even a proper name for a deck of cards. That's just rubbish thrown out. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is currently 0% funded. Big surprise. With 39 days to go. $40,000 goal. Not a chance in hell that gets funded. That means $1,000 per day in this project. And they only got $200. It's not going to happen. Oh wow, for $3 you get a pat on the back. I can pat myself on the back for free for not spending money on this. $17 for one deck. I mean, that's not bad. Actually, 2 decks. That's not bad for plastic decks, which usually cost, you know, $26, 20, 25, $30 for a set. But still, they're a lot better looking than this. This is very simple, very minimalist. It's just, there's not even pips on these cards, just a big A for the aces. The back design, is that the back design? Very casino-ish. And all his sortas is 4 aces, each one of its own color. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I like cards that have a different color per suit. But not like this. This is just too simple, too minimalist. And he's not showing us anything but the aces. Clubs are green, spades are black, hearts are red, and diamonds are blue. Joy. It looks like a Uno deck with the colors like this. But it's not going to happen. $40,000 is just unreasonable. Not a chance in hell. Next up, the Bicycle Classic playing cards back on Kickstarter. It is 21% funded, 39 days to go as well. It is from Janessa Gazmir, which is from 9780 Design. They have designed several other decks, but this is the first deck that they've done on Kickstarter, although this is a second attempt. They did launch it a couple months ago, did not do very well, they canceled it. Now they're back. It's kind of like a re-styled, modified, reversioned rider back. As you can see, it's got a bicycle on the back design. It says Classic. Very nice in blue. They did have a red one before, but they're not doing that this time around. They do have a lower goal, $14,000 this time, Australian, so we'll see what happens. 9780, like I said, they designed other decks like the Bicycle Viper, is it? Venom, the Bicycle Venom and Venom Strikes. They did the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or is it Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll decks? I don't remember. I think it's Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll, whatever, decks. And they've also done, I think it was a Bicycle Grimoire. And I think they did, it was the Bicycle Majestic for Elite playing cards. They've done a few different decks throughout time. As you can see, it's a very nice classic looking deck. Really nice faces. Although I'm not sure why they feel they need to put classic all over it. We can tell it's classic looking. And maybe that's a little bit overkill. Particularly on the faces. When the backs already have the word classic on them. But they are nice. I like them. There's also a stretch goal that I don't think they'll reach for a white deck. Check this out. Floating deck holder. That's pretty cool. It's a string contraption. It looks like a shoelace. It's a contraption. It holds your deck up. It looks like it's floating. I think that's pretty awesome, but I'm not sure how much that is, or if it's even available. The white edition deck will be available at $45,000. Very slim chance they're going to hit that. I'm not even sure if they're going to fund it this rate, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's a really high goal for a second deck. I wish they would make it a lot lower. That seems I mean, why do a goal that's unreachable for a deck? And then there's embossing and a red seal. But here's the weighted edition that we're never going to see. It's pretty nice as well. But that's that. I just wanted to mention those two. I will see you next time with more. Well, coming up right after this, non-Kickstarter decks. See ya. Alright, a couple more things to talk about. First of all, this one, Gremlins from Albino Dragon is apparently coming on August the 18th. It's in 10 days. Apparently it's going to be directly on their website. I'm not sure if I'm into it or not. And here's the back design, and I don't like this trademark thing in the corner. It seems completely unnecessary and unattractive, unappealing. And then the back design is just kind of weird itself. To be fair, I haven't watched a whole lot of Gremlins, and if I did see any Gremlins, I mean, I'm sure I did. It was like 25 years ago. I don't really remember it. What else is there? Oops. And I got other decks coming too. We'll get to that. Virtuoso Spring Summer Edition is back in stock at the Verts website. I just thought I would point that out. Apparently some people upset with how they've handled things and with what happened and all this stuff. Apparently people were adding enormous amounts of decks to the carts and checking out, and they oversold or whatever, and I don't know. I don't really want to get into it. I don't really know. Miscellaneous Goods Company has a new deck. I'm getting tired of this, but I'm getting this one anyway. It's the Ivory deck out of the version 3, I guess. Third edition. As you can see, it's an ivory colored back design, which in this picture you can barely make out the details, which, as you've heard recently during this video, I do not like. The rest of the cards, fairly typical, similar to the previous ones. Not so why there's an X in the corner of the Ace of Hearts, but it is what it is. And why the Ace of Hearts looks like the Ace of Diamonds. Somebody screwed up in that picture big time. Unless that's a gaff card, which it could be. And there is, oh look at that, there's numbers in the corners of all the cards. That's pretty interesting. At least they've changed some stuff. But it is what it is. $15 each. I'm not a big fan of that. It's a bit pricey. However, there is a promo for 15% off. I thought it might be on the website here somewhere. If I get the code, I apologize. But it is what it is. It's $15. You can get 15% off. It's only a couple of bucks anyways, but it's better than nothing. But I mean, they've done. My problem is they've done all these different colors of essentially the same thing, the same back design. And originally it was a nice deck, but it's just getting repetitive. And I'd like to see them do something completely brand new from scratch instead of just modifying what they already have and making it in new colors. But whatever. What else? Oh, Magna Carta from Alexander Chin is coming this Tuesday, August the 11th on Kickstarter. The Royals deck, the Rebels deck, beautiful. I like it. And they're not just different colors this time like the previous season's decks. They're actually different backs and colors and decks. No idea what the time is. Here's some more of the artwork. It's going to be printed by USPC. Which is good. It's the 800th anniversary of the Magna Carta. 800 years, wow. It's coming Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'm not sure if that's Eastern or Pacific. Excuse me, I apologize. I was, I have to try to find out what that is. And then there is this one coming August 22nd to Kickstarter in a relaunch. the Black Widow playing cards from Jam Pack Cards. And there you go. I'm not sure if they're going to have like less foil or no foil on the cards or whatever they're going to do, but obviously they're going to have a lower goal and some changes. So look forward to that one as well. Really nice looking decks. And then there's this one I wanted to talk about. The Mighty Superheroes deck from that was on Kickstarter. When you go there now, you get this. Wait, it's not showing up yet. Cancelled. Actually, the reason why it's cancelled is because Kickstarter obviously received a copyright thing, and it was removed from public view until it was resolved, and apparently it's been cancelled as a result. Basically, they got copyrighted. Not a big surprise. I mean, you got all these characters that look like actual superheroes. You got a Batman wannabe, you got Superman wannabe, there's Wonder Woman, there's all sorts of figures. You can't get away with that. There's Robin, Flash, all sorts of stuff, and it's kind of like, it's very recognizable, even though it's not, even though it's different and it's not the actual person, you still go, oh, well, that's Batman, that's Robin, it's Superman. So it wasn't a very wise decision. The back design, not that great, way too much black space, in my opinion. But yeah, it's been canceled. It's been removed by Kickstarter, I guess, and I guess it's done. Actually, here we go. Marvel didn't like what they were doing, even as generalized and generic as some of the art was. So they had to remove those images, and no matter what they could do, we could not afford them. Yeah, of course you're not going to be able to afford them. Also, apparently the word superhero is owned by Marvel. I was not aware of that. I can't even believe that or imagine that Marvel owns superhero. That's pretty ridiculous. They did manage to get the project back up and running, though, by making changes and changing the name. They changed it to Mighty Superb Heroes playing cards. But then they decided to cancel the project. They decided the funding goal of $8,000 is too high, and they're going to skip using Legends and go to somebody else. So it came back, and then they decided to cancel it right away. What was the point of that? Anyways, enough. I just don't think that this one is going to have much of a chance. Also, I want to mention something about Legends. I forgot to mention before. The Viridian playing cards was just announced in an update today. Facing a major delay, apparently Legends has run out of a card stock that they wanted to use for the Viridian playing cards, and do not expect to get any more until November. This is highly unacceptable in my opinion. I blame Legends 100%. They should be keeping track of their stock, the material, and if they see they need more, they should get more. And they should also have told creators that, hey, we don't have very much of this stock left, or we're running out of this stock. We're not going to be able to produce it, or it's going to be delayed, and not just wait until like the last minute type of a thing. It's ridiculous. I dislike that. I do think that they should just proceed with a different stock. I mean, I who really can tell it made the difference between this stock and that stock? They're all similar. They're all good. But whatever, I guess. Anyways, that is that. I'll see you next time with more updates. One more quick thing. This just came to my attention recently as well. A new Virtuoso deck apparently coming. I think that this white color, is in kind of the wrong spot. It just really looks off-putting. It just, I don't know. I mean, it's okay, but it just seems like the white should be in a different spot because it just is too much white, and I don't know. Personally, I think that's getting ridiculous. They've done already. This is going to be, I think, the fourth Verts deck, and it's just a color change, color change, color change. Do something different. I mean, people are going to start referring to the Verts as the Chinese Madison decks at this rate. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It's nice to see different colors, but if it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over, it gets to the point where it becomes a Madison deck or a Smoke and Mirrors deck where it's just different color every year, and it's ridiculous. Do something different. Come up with something different. It'll be fine. So that is that, and I will see you next time.